can tell her that, yes.
I've already heard from a lot of them out here.
It looks like to me that we have pretty much a consensus to at least have Al look into this and see what he can negotiate and such, because like we say, we've got some history. We don't know, we can't predict what the sellers are going to want to do and negotiate, but we can at least follow through with your recommendation, at least try to see what we can do so we can get this jump started. Okay? And
Thank you.
again, I want to thank your whole
Thank you.
committee. You've done a lot of work with this.
Thank you,
Appreciate
guys.
it. Is there anybody else on the committee that wanted to talk or say anything, or? Okay. All righty, moving forward, we'll go to ordinances. Motion to receive, file, consider, and adopt the ordinance for the second time regarding the zoning code of the ordinances of the City of Independence, Iowa by repealing section 3.21 pertaining to home occupations.
So moved.
Motion by Holland, second by
Second.
Brown. Need this for roll call? Okay, roll call on this one, please.
Holland,
Yes.
Linius.
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Dollenbach.
Yes.
Grover,
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Thank you, motion carried. Resolutions, number 3, motion to adopt a resolution designating newspapers for the official publication. Should be put newspaper, shouldn't it? Instead of
Should be a
S?
newspaper.
Instead of S.
Yeah, I looked into that. I think historically we've designated multiple papers, and I was asked by Al to do some research on that. And my conclusion was that we really can only designate one, and we have to pick one. I think it would be confusing to the public for them to wonder which paper they're supposed to look in to decide whether there's a publication in there of city business. And so that, and plus just an interpretation of the code, I came up with the conclusion that we can only have one. So that's probably why, if you're thinking back in history, thinking, well, we've had others, that
Yeah.
we probably shouldn't have, and we should only have one.
Okay.
One of the problems, and I brought this up last time, is most counties would be lucky to have one newspaper. And we have two very good, viable newspapers in the county. I think, I just hate to see us leaving out newspapers that have a good circulation.
And all I'm saying is you have to have one official paper for publication purposes. That does not mean you cannot publish in both papers. You just have one official for publication.
Right.
So if you were to so choose that you want to have all your legals or some of your legals published in the alternative paper, you can still do that. It could be kind of confusing for the city clerk to figure out how she's supposed to do it. So I would say if you as a council want to have the same exact publication in the other paper, you can do a resolution saying that, but I think you have to have one designated paper. And then alternatively, you can also say that all similar publications or all similar notices will be published in the other paper. You can do that, but you can only have one official one. Does that help? Is that clear? Okay.
This for me. Does anybody else have any other questions on it?
I would just offer, I think there's some other solutions or resolutions to that. I understand what you're saying, Bob. My concern is we're working with taxpayer money, and to have all of our legal documents printed in multiple newspapers, I don't know if that's prudent use of that. The only other solution I can give you, and I'd be happy to visit with you about later, but there are some other things that we could think about.
Okay.
I took the liberty of identifying the Independence newspaper, and I apologize if that was presumptuous on my part. You have the right to select in this resolution the publication of your choice. So I did not mean to take that away from the council, but based on where they're located, it was why I put the newspaper in the resolution that we did.
Because this is actually for the city one rather than the county one. I realize what
Well,
you're
but
saying.
I think, if you look at subscriptions,
Right. There's a lot of crossover.
you know, I think sometimes I don't wanna say, I don't want the Bulletin Journal, because I do, but I think sometimes we forget that subscription rates, we're probably leaving out a lot of citizens who are subscribing to another paper.
Well, I guess if they wanna
Could
see
the-
official stuff, they can always get the Bulletin Journal if they know that's the one it's in, so.
Forgot to ask this question before, but where was the resolution? It's not in the packet.
It is, but it'll have to be
Well-
changed, cause it says designating newspapers for official publications within the city of Independence.
No, I'm talking about the actual
The actual
document.
resolution.
The actual resolution is, you have the letter regarding from Carter to Al, and then you have the news and its letter. And then following that is the reappointment letters, or reappointment resolutions.
There's a resolution here,
Yeah.
designating newspapers for official publication. It's.
Should be before those documents, isn't it?
Yeah, it's before
I'm
those
not
other
sure
ones.
what's ahead of it here.
It's in the council packet part of it, one of the items
That's where I
there.
was.
Let's see,
It says official publication resolution.
yeah. Sure what page? Page 45, if I'm reading this right.
Yes, I apologize, I overlooked it.
Okay. And it does designate the Independence Bulletin Journal.